Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Trike Henkei Deluxe Gatrike phone from Kamen Rider Saber. This is a smartphone used by members of Sword of Logos that can also transform into a vehicle for them to ride. So, let's get started. First we'll look at the Gatrike phone starting in phone mode. So, this year we have yet again another transforming smartphone, but this time it's not a version of the collectible gimmick and isn't necessarily mainly used by the main rider. So here we have it in phone mode, where it has this kind of interesting shape you don't typically see on a smartphone. It's certainly wider than you'd see a lot of them be. So that's some pretty simple details. And the main thing here is the screen, which is done up with some stickers. So, as we have the various icons for apps, and in the background you see the Sword of Logos logo, or their symbol. And so we have the different icons that are each written out with the Wonder language. So we can look at them one by one. So here we have time, yote, or calendar, tenki, or weather, have the phone icon, map, talk, radio, camera, lock, kenko, or health, sette, or settings, shop, game, compass, movie, money, book, trike, SOL, or Sword of Logos, and mail. In this mode, you can press the phone icon to get some character phrases and various other sounds. Now for this mode, in order to make it safe for children if they want to put up to their ear, the volume has been lowered. The speaker's back here. Try to get it pretty close so you can hear it better. So then you get into some phrases. The first set of phrases is from Touma Kamiyama, who turns into Kamen Rider Saber. And like with my reviews of Wonder Ride books, all the translations for the phrases will be down in the description. Then we've got a "you got mail" little phrase. So then we'll get to the call sound again. Then we have phrases from Rintaro Shindo, who turns into Kamen Rider Blades. So that's the end of those. Then we have a couple phrases from Mei Sudo, who is the female ally to the Sword of Logos riders. And then we got 3 males. Then it goes back to the beginning. Next, we'll transform the Gatrike phone. So to do that, the first thing you want to do is take the 2 halves and clasp them in the middle. We'll get that transformation tune. Then we'll flip back this wheel here, push forward this wheel, and then lift up the handlebars. And here you have the Ride Gatriker. Now turn it back into the Gatrike phone, you're going to do the opposite process. And by doing that, we'll get a Gatrike phone activation sound. And Gatrike, as you can tell by the Gatling guns here, and the Trike Mode, is a combination of Gatling and Trike, or motor tricycle. So we'll turn it back again. So here we can see it has a couple of Gatling guns in the front, as well as smaller Gatling guns. Got the 3 wheels, 2 at the front and 1 at the back. Handlebars of steel, bit of piping. You can see the battery compartment back here, which has batteries already included, so you just have to take out the tab. Now in this mode, to activate sounds, you've got a button here on the front bumper. So you press that. Yeah, sound from Rintaro. One from Touma. And the Gatling fired sound. Now if we go to the third sound again, and press the button again before the bullets run out, we'll get an explosion sound. Now, being a vehicle, of course, this can be used with the Rider Kicks figures for the series. The main user of the Gatrike phone is Kamen Blades, so we've got him in a seated position. As you can see, in order to get him into this kind of position, you can actually take the kind of front loincloth and move it off to the side. So, place him on, and have his hands grip the handlebars. And so there we have him riding it. Now the sizing is a little bit weird, and certainly is a very low to the ground vehicle. But it certainly is possible to have him ride it around, and actually play with it that way. And we can also use some of the other riders for it as well, such as Saber, where you have to kind of move the side skirt out of the way. And also Espada. He doesn't have as much of a problem since his cape is on his shoulder. And finally, I'll give you guys a comparison to the other transforming vehicle in the series, Diago Speedy. Obviously, this is closer to the size of a Wonder Ride book, so when they're in their default modes, this is a bit smaller. Though it also does hide the vehicle a bit better, since it is compacted like this, whereas for the Gatrike phone, you do have basically all of the vehicle parts on the back. And then we can transform them. And then this one. Where you can see that now, Diago Speedy does stand up taller than the Ride Gatriker. Though we have about the same length, but also a bit more girth on Gatriker since it is wide like that. But it is nice to have a rider series where we finally have more than just one vehicle. And there we go. So overall, the Gatrike phone is interesting, but certainly the more passable of the two vehicles. While I didn't make it the main rider's vehicle, it still has been getting a bit played out to have a transforming smartphone, and certainly just having some character phrases is nice, but it's not going to do much for you if you don't really understand what the characters are saying. As for the Gatrike phone, it's certainly a bit different than some of the recent rider vehicles, and does give you something to use for your riders besides Saber, though it is a bit awkwardly sized for the figures. So overall, this is something of a give or take item depending on how much this interests you. Next time I'll be doing the RKF, Kamen Rider Kenzan, and Kamen Rider Slash. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.